good morning. Um, yeah, happy new month and welcome to this week's Forex commentary. And of course, this is Settle Black. And uh, what an interesting month January was, apparently. But before we delve into the video, if this is your first time of watching or if you're a returning viewer, kindly, subscribe to my YouTube. I mean, it will do a lot of good for me, so my content can reach more people. Comment, turn on the post notification so that whenever I upload, you would be the first to know. All right. So that being said, yeah, this is February's trading, and of course, this is dollar index, the monthly time frame, and this is capital.com. There's really a lot to say. I mean, basically, there's a lot to say. But let's first start by looking at monthly chart, looking at how, how January traded. Okay, so about last month, markets were like in consolidation. So basically, it was back and forth. Markets just moving back and forth, and not no one-sided delivery yet. Apparently, you can see from the monthly candle indecisive, yeah, and um, when Friday's trading closed, apparently it was quite obvious that dollar index was bullish. I mean, I had a couple calls during the weekend, and I was talking about dollar index to folks I was on call with, and yeah, and not just that. Currently, the whole trade wars going on between the United States, Canada, China, and Mexico. I mean, the United States currently, they're it's really crazy what's going on in the United States. So, and I mean, the risk in the market currently is seriously elevated, and it's really messed with price action because it's as though there was one thing going on prior, but with the new regime change, I don't know. It's just weird, and because of that, personally, I cannot be looking at any long-term play yet. Okay, I'll only be focused on intraday plays and daily time frame, confirmation in an intraday setups, and here and there, maybe just once or twice a week, and that's all, right? So, for the classic, whenever we see the market, trading to a level like this and have this closure like this, this is a bearish shadow block. We closed this fair value gap here, and there is this volume balance that prices didn't even close through. Okay, so markets are rejecting this volume balance, and it's clear as a determining factor that okay, we are likely to see a supposedly reversal from here. It's just one of those candlestick pattern, but that's all for candlesticks, because when we now move down to the weekly chart, okay, even if we are looking for a potential bearish dollar, okay, when you look at the weekly time frame, especially the way last week's trading closed, okay, you can see how they traded into sales like here, and the markets closed bullish. Okay, this in itself just gave off that the early portion of this week was going to be bullish. That was my thought process, and yesterday I checked the news and I was looking at whatever was going on online, the retaliation from Canada and all of those kind of stuff, and there's news that the Canadian dollar dropped to a 2003 low and stuff like that, and I'm like, the market has not opened yet. Okay, so I already knew that we're gonna see a gap, and now that we have this gap, the question is, what's the draw on liquidity? Okay, because if you look at price action, and You can see the market has traded through previous week's high. Okay, this is previous week's high here. Okay, can you see? This is previous week's high. So apparently there is absolutely nothing to do really today, because I don't know what somebody in right senses would want to trade today, because the market opened and made over a 100 point gap. And the thing is, even if the market is going to remain bullish for a while, because from here to here we trade into rejection block, so they could have a reaction off of this rejection. And mind you, because I just noticed that the market ain't playing it safe this year, okay, not playing anything safe. And we had this level here, this old weekly bearish shadow block, and I'm no more discounting the fact that there is this weekly bearish shadow block. You can see we were a couple of points shy, and return back here, giving a fake market structure shift on daily chart. And when market shifts structure, and apparently this is I think the drawn liquidity remains above this high, so that was a torso. And you can see, especially from last week's close, as the market closed last week, because we have a swing high here. And last week, when we're talking about dollar index, we're talking about the drawn liquidity being, sell side here, previous week's low. And, we're going to utilize the daily bearish order block for a run on liquidity into the previous week's low. Okay. But then we also talked about long-term prognostication, talking about, okay, once we through previous week's low, they're likely to run into, a discount first. And that's the midpoint of this dealing range, okay? And this was our long-term objective. But as soon as prices ran into previous weekly low and closed like this is not a signature of a bullish price action. Of a bearish price action. This is a signature of a bullish price action. That's why after Monday's, my execution Monday, it took me until Friday to go back into the markets, really, okay? Because I wanted to be sure what I was really doing. And I just figured, okay, this week it's even worse than a consolidation. Towards the end, it showed that dollar index was bullish, okay? And I was still waiting for the close, because as soon as the market hit objective on Euro USD on the daily chart, there was a rejection off of it, and I was like, okay, if the candle can close like this, this is signature for bullish price action. Then when I checked back before going to bed, I saw that we had a very strong bearish close, and that just validated, okay, fine. Whatever data this market was showing in terms of price action, that market structure bullish and euro and all of that, it's not bullish. This is a turtle soup. And the drawn liquidity is this high. Okay, this has been disturbing, so I'll take it off now. So it's this high. Now, mind you, there was a period, we're talking about dollar index, and okay, this was while I was having my analysis during the weekend. I was talking about I did a pre-market series, pre-market commentary, and I was talking about this relatively equal high, and markets finally ran into this high. So you can see when you have expectations sometimes, and you can see how long the market is taking to return back into this relatively equal high, because I was talking about how this move here was manipulation and it's to induce new buys, and of course they actually induce new buys from my own perspective, right? And it's something that I really cannot control, because they were doing this whole manipulation off of the daily time frame. I mean, we saw a daily time frame market structure shift and all of that, so it was pretty convincing, and it just shows time and time again that these markets are willing to do whatever they're going to do to manipulate and and take money from traders basically. Now at the start of this year, we're talking about DXY and how before we see bearish prices on DXY, we did lots of correlated pair analysis. We looked at USD CAD. Now look at USD CAD. We talked about the fact that USD CAD was going to return into buy side liquidity pool here, and we were looking at USD CAD as a mirror to determine what dollar index is likely to do, and if USD CAD can facilitate its move into buy side liquidity pool, that somehow dollar index will find its way there. And literally that's what we say. And you can see in hindsight, in real time, we're looking at geopolitical events and all of those things that sponsor this move. But we literally talked about this in the early portion of January, okay? And we're talking about how the DXY is bullish, but January was heavily manipulated with consolidation and stuff, and you could not really pinpoint how the markets were going to trade. If you look at USD CAD, you can look at all of the price action. You can see there's a one market structure shift here, and it ran sell side. Another market structure shift, consolidation, and look at this kind of price action, and suddenly they are objective. I mean, this kind of thing is a mess, really, and it just shows that there's some things are just outside of your control, really. And really, I don't really know what dollar index is going to do, really, because now we've run into the previous week's high and objective. I know for certain that they are likely to trade back into this volume imbalance. Okay, that's the only thing, and I don't know when, how, but I know that prices will return into this volume balance. Now, if they have any interest on buy side here, it means when they return into this volume balance, I don't know when. Okay, I don't know when, and this is going to serve as a precursor for higher dollar prices. But then I don't know, and this is not even high probability because we already traded into previous week's high, and that should just be it. So I really don't know. Really, I really don't know. I cannot say anything because my idea coming into this week was with a look of price action, how we return into this volume balance, this ICT breaker, and this Friday close here. This price action here, for me, just validated longs into the relatively equal highs here, and I woke up 2 a.m. to check my charts to see how the Canadian dollar opened, because I was very specific about that, because I saw somewhere about Canadian dollar blah blah, and I saw this gap, and I'm like, okay, this is all. So this is just first week of February, and we'll start another waiting process, and there's literally nothing I can do. Now, the only thing we can do is probably check other markets, and currently I do not have any other markets that I can make a commentary on right now, okay? And I'm talking about the yen pairs or gold and stuff. I cannot make any commentary on it because I spend more time really during the weekend looking at dollar index than any other pair on my watch list, okay? Looking at dollar index, so I can't make any commentary, and you can see we're risk this current condition is risk off. I mean, even the risk is significantly elevated in the market. You can imagine if you were short somehow and you had your stops open over the weekend, it would have been very crazy. I mean, very, very crazy. How do you go through all of this? And it's just going to be a bloody mess. And then again, if you're lucky enough to have a solid position here, damn, that would be a whole lot of profit you're gonna wake up to. So really, I really do not know. I really do not know, and I sincerely do not know. I don't know how the markets are going to trade. I see objective here. You can see there's this kind of fair value gap here. This was what, you know, this was what was eyeballing for objective, and you can see how long it took for euros to finally return here, and you can see this shift in market structure. This was Victoria soup, and all of this was fake, and it's just pretty sad that the markets can go so far to manipulate the perception of bias and all of that. But still, we just have to wait. There's really nothing on the chart. My intention is to do a pre-market analysis when things get a little bit clearer, and I'm going to share with the community. But for now, there's literally nothing I can do. I cannot say anything because what's really there to say? For real, what's really there to say? There's absolutely nothing. And it's just to wait. Now, it doesn't change the fact that we talked about the high time frame institutional order flow DXY as bearish, okay? Because right now it run through this high into this objective, which was my commentary at the pre-market saying I'm bearish on dollar index, but my ideal bearish setup would come when they run this high, okay? Because we have a key level here, and now we're running through the previous weekly high. But do I know if they're going to run this previous week's high or not? I really do not know, because I simply do not know. Really, I do not know. Okay, so I hope you found this one insightful. Just want to keep it short and quick. Really not on dollar index. My objective, the one I had set for this week's trading, has been met already. So there's nothing I can comment on. I can't say, oh, now that they've met it, we are going to the next one. No. Objective is previous week's high, and I stay there. This is not a period I can, be careless with my expectations. Okay, my expectations have been met. Markets gapped and got to objective, and that's the end. There's nothing I can do, nothing I can say, and that's what it is. So during the week, we're going to be studying price action on Twitter, and based off of the daily chart, we will determine something if something forms. But I think this is a perfect week to learn another skill. So in the meantime, be safe.